I gathered up all of my materials, which I've actually detailed down below for you in my Ryobi Nation post, including the cuts of the wood that you see here. The power tools I'm using are Ryobi's circular saw, drill, and 23 gauge pin nailer. For the wood, I'm basically using a 1x2, a 1x3, a 5/8 dowel, and this thin piece of wood that I had on hand. The wire that you see here is actually going to be for earring storage, and I do not own a lot of earrings, so I just decided to cut off a corner of the backing with my circular saw to add that wire right there later in the line after we're done building a little bit. Be sure to clamp down your wood to hold it in place before you make your cut. If you feel a little weird about using a circular saw or you're a little bit intimidated, I've made a how-to tutorial with tips and tricks that can hopefully help ease your mind on using this guy. I laid my 1x3 pieces to create the frame, or like the lip of the jewelry holder essentially, to make sure that it fits properly on that back piece. And then I took away that back piece and decided to glue and clamp these pieces together before I used my pin nailer to secure. Oops, I lied to you guys. I didn't just go in with my pin nailer. You always want to take a speed square and ensure that your angles are at 90 degrees before you secure it. Once you check, then go ahead. You don't want your thing being all wonky or shifted a little bit or like a little oblong shaped. Is that a word? When you step back. One thing that I love about this Ryobi pin nailer is the fact it has like an edge guide. I always used to eyeball and ensure that the nails that I were putting in were straight, and they'd always be a little bit off. So this ensures that it is the same depth every single time, like depth from the edge of the wood, obviously. Once all of the 1x3 pieces are secured together, you want to go ahead and repeat that same process with the glue and pin nailing the backing into those 1x3s. Once all of that was put together, I went in with my Ryobi corner cap finish sander just to get into those tight corners and edges to clean up any excess wood glue or maybe bumps and bruises that just happened by creating this piece so far. This is what it is looking like so far. Obviously, you can adjust the measurements to make it smaller or larger, whatever fits your fancy. But now I am going to go ahead and just add a dab of wood glue and those shorter dowel pieces as necklace holders wherever I see fit. So I'm going to do 3 up top, 2 right below it. I'm going to continue to point out that this is all customizable. So what you're seeing here is because your homegirl, she doesn't own a lot of jewelry. So I'm only doing 5 baby dowels because I'm such a tomboy. I never wear jewelry. What I have on hand is like very minimal. So that's why like you don't see like a ton of doodads on this thing so far. Glue may be strong enough to hold the dowel in place with necklaces. I just highly doubt that that's the case. So I went ahead and measured where each dowel was, marked that corresponding measurement onto the back, and then pin nailed through the back piece of wood into the dowel to give it some extra security. I wanted to double check and just kind of move my finger on each dowel, and they are actually way sturdier than I thought they would be. When I had all of that completed, I decided to go ahead and add the wire to that bottom corner. I just snipped it with some wire snips, and then I put it into place with a simple staple gun. When I flipped this guy back over, I realized like, yes, it's awesome as is, but I wanted to add a place for my belts. So I just took the 2 smaller 1x2 pieces, took my 3/4 drill bit and drilled a hole into each. And then I actually placed them with some wood glue and my pin nailer on the bottom corner of this holder, and then just slid my 15-inch 5/8 dowel into place. And now I have this rad lip for all my chain belts and whatnot. After I had that done, I started thinking, well, what other jewelry do I have that can't be added to this? And that would include my rings. So I decided to cut out some scrap wood to create a cube. And I just didn't add one side, obviously the top, because you want to be able to put stuff within these. And I just simply lined where the wood was touching with wood glue, taped it together and let it sit. And then voila, I had 2 little trinket boxes. You can paint this guy, stain him, legitimately whatever you want to do to match your space. For me, I'm leaving it unfinished because actually in this room I have a lot of wood accents and this is going to go nicely with it. But now you just need to hang up this guy and put him to good use. Something I love about just creating customized pieces is because you literally can make it any which way to fit your space. So if you want to make 5 of these and put them on like a huge wall and make a statement piece or almost like a boutique-y feel, if you have that much jewelry, you can go ahead and do so. For me, 1 is enough because I do not own a lot, but to each its own. I hope that you guys enjoyed this bonus video this week. I will be back Sunday with another DIY. How exciting. I'm actually getting back on track with all of these videos. Thank you, Ryobi, once again for sponsoring today's video. I actually collaborated with them this whole entire month of October, so I really hope you guys enjoyed the content as much as I did making it.